guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a library. And if you are new to my house builds, I do speed builds, house builds like this every Thursday. So if you like this video, I suggest consider subscribing so you can catch more videos like this. Like I said, today we're doing a library because I looked through all of the community lots in The Sims 3 and it drove me insane that I looked through. I couldn't find a single library in any of the community lots. So I don't know if it's just my game or if it's whatever, if it's everybody's game, but yeah, there was no libraries. And I'm like, well, I have a couple of Sims that need libraries, so we're gonna make a couple. Or we're gonna make one. This way I can put it in a couple of my worlds. So I've got all the walls up, I've got the windows going in. I wanted nice big bay windows. So this way there was a lot of natural light coming in, and it just kind of provided a better environment. There is two bathrooms at the back, and then there is also uh, there's going to be kind of like a living room esque type uh, area in the back where we'll have a TV. I was looking for the DVD stands. I couldn't find them. I'm sure they're in there somewhere, but I looked through, I don't know, a dozen times, and I'm sure you'll see it in here. I'm looking and looking and looking and looking. I couldn't find it to save my life. So I had a hard time deciding what kind of library I wanted this to be. If I wanted to be more of a newer modern one, if I wanted to be a little bit older, or maybe one that was maybe renovated. I ended up changing the flooring so many times. But I was really happy with how it ended up turning out. Um, Especially with all the space that I ended up using. Because like I said, I couldn't quite decide. So I ended up making kind of oops. I just dropped my phone to the floor. I made it kind of like one that was maybe like renovated where this back section was added on. And I mean, granted, I guess at that point I could have put like brick walls, and that would have been kind of nicer, but oh well. It is what it is. This is where we're at now. So I just kind of went in, did the roofs. I kind of wanted the front of the library to have kind of like a different look to it. So, and I tried to put in a couple of windows, and they were just, it was god awful trying to pick windows. I mean, granted, you're seeing this at 5 times the speed. I This ended up taking me an hour and a half in order to build, which I know is probably not anything in comparison to most YouTubers, most um, people that do create houses in libraries, but yeah, it was a lot of time for me. Normally my builds run about half an hour to 45 minutes. That's about average for me because I always end up drawing them out ahead of time. So I don't have to spend all that time planning. So I end up just throwing up the walls, throwing up the flooring, and then I usually draw down a general idea of where I want everything to go. So, and that's what I ended up doing for the library too. Oh, good. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm still yawning so much. Guess I've had a long day, I guess. I was trying to get these to line up, but I ended up taking them down. I didn't like them. So, but that separate room here off to the right is for like computers and stuff like that. And I wanted some nice greenery, something to kind of liven the place up. I don't know, maybe if you want to call it like we were just reminding the plants where they could be. They could be pressed between other plants, flattened out and printed on. But I did want a big computer area because most libraries have that. And plus, that's kind of part of the reason I wanted a library was because then they could actually have computer areas to work on. Oh my god. I think I'm going to take a nap after this. But I wanted to kind of decorate some of the desks, put some decorations in. I should have brought a sim in this way they could test to see if the stuff works if I put it in front of like the bookcases or in front of the chairs and stuff. But I kind of, like I said, it's a library, so I ended up putting a lot of community items in there. So there's like community sports awards, the local schools in there. So you'll end up seeing here that I end up putting a bit of a little like nook area up here at the front. I wanted some place for like people to be able to gather, to sit down, even just a place for a community of people to sit down, read books, maybe discuss their books, all sorts of stuff. So I ended up making sure there was plenty of seating. And like I said, I wanted those big open windows so this way there's plenty of light coming in. And then they can just sit on the couch, they can read their book. And like I said, here's where the corkboard goes in. I just wanted to have that for just like community areas. Because like I said, this is kind of supposed to be more like for a community area. I thought about putting the protest signs in there. I ended up changing my mind because I'm like, nope, that's not a good idea. Put in some more decorations for the bathrooms. Some of those little paper things for the toilets. So, and of course, I ended up decorating the place with lots of books on the floor. And I ended up making like a little reception area. I was looking for like just a little like cash register or something. I should have done a computer, which I realized way after the fact. I could have just done a computer on it. But I ended up doing a counter, and I wanted to, like I said, I wanted a register there, but I ended up going with nothing there. But I did end up putting lots of decorations in for with lots of books. So this way, it looks like the librarian is busy. He or she's constantly checking them in, checking them out. So I tried to look for some rugs. I didn't find a whole lot that I liked. So, but I ended up putting some in front of the couches, so this way it looked a little bit more like home. Didn't feel so industrial, I guess, or more community area. This is where we're going to end up doing a lot of the logic tables. I have two chess tables, and then there's supposed to be a king domino table. I ended up having all sorts of issues just trying to place that stupid chess table next to the wall. And I had so many issues trying to get chairs pushed up against it, and it was such a nightmare. I was so mad about it. But that's why I end up putting in all the tables. End up putting that kind of on a diagonal. This way it fits a little bit better in there. You can get every side. Oh, this is where I'm going to end up building the little librarian station. Like I said, lots of books everywhere. So I put some books on the thing. I put some books on the floor. Made sure to put a few piles next to each other. This way it looks like there's plenty of books to check in. And this is where I'm telling you, this is where I was going through looking for a cash register. I was looking for anything that resembled a cash register. But I figured I could at least put the bins up there, so this way it would look like, oh, well, these are color coordinated. This goes in this section, and this one goes in this section. And here I am. I was looking through it so long, and you can see I'm constantly just scanning and scanning and scanning, and I'm not finding anything. I was so mad. I was so mad at myself for not being able to find anything. But I mean, it ended up working out. The place looks really nice. It looks really great. I do have lots of screenshots coming up here at the end. I ended up finding a sign that was just a library post, and I was like, I have to have it. And then I also saw the grandfather clock, and I always almost see a nice big clock or a grandfather clock in a library. I don't know why I said that so weird. But end up putting that in there. And again, lots more plants I was looking at. And again, this is where I'm back going through, looking for the cash register, looking for anything that resembles one that I could be able to use for a library. And then I end up putting in a couple of the children's bookcases over here, so this way you could kind of see this is kind of like a children's section. I even ended up going into the buy debug menu, just in some sort of hopes of finding it, but I didn't. I ended up putting in a lot of those squares like you saw if you watched my no color challenge, or no black, white, gray challenge. I ended up using a lot of those squares from the buy debug menu, and they're supposed to disappear once you go into live mode. Live, I don't know. I just had this conversation with myself in a different video. If you end up watching the 100 baby challenge, I'm sure you'll end up hearing me talk about that. But anyway, it's a big old debate in my head about whether it's live or live. I've heard people say live, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because your Sims are going to be alive, and you're going to be watching them live, and yeah. I mean, technically you're going to watch them live too, but anyway. But back onto things that matter. They're supposed to disappear once you end up going back into that mode. So this way you can see everything, but it makes everything a lot brighter. It makes it a lot easier to see, and you can see it immediately. There's an immediate transformation of it. It gets so much brighter and so much easier to see. End up putting a couple of little lights in the bathroom. And here I am one more time, just going through everything just to see if I missed it anywhere. Like I said, I was also looking for those DVD racks too, so I was just looking, I was kind of skimming for both. I never ended up finding the DVD racks. Excuse me. Which I know exist, because I put them in my husband's dream home challenge. Or in his dream home. I ended up putting him in there, in his little theater of a room. And I actually still have my dream home to build. I still have that to put up here. I just haven't quite gotten around to that just yet. Because this is actually where I wanted to have the DVD racks, is right where these children's bookcases are. But since I couldn't find them, I just said, screw it, I'm not worrying about it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm sure I will find them when I am least expecting. Or I'm sure you guys might have seen it. If you guys know exactly where it's at, you can go ahead and comment that down below, just so then I know. And I'll make a note of it somewhere so I can find them later. And then I was just kind of looking for something else to fill that one square of space, because that's hardly any space at all. But I did end up putting a couple of little game systems there on the table. So this way it kind of looks like they have like something to play the DVDs and play movies. Because I know at my library they do definitely have a place to check out movies, check out DVDs. I haven't been in there recently, so I don't know if they have a TV. But I have been to a couple of libraries that do. So. Oh my god. I don't mean to keep yawning, I promise. And it's not even late. It's 2 p.m. for me. It's 2 p.m. on a day off. So, since I do still work an actual full-time job. So, but here's where I'm kind of taking a quick look through, making sure I didn't forget anything, and then I had to cut it right here, because I ended up saving that recording from prior to this on, and then I realized I did 0 landscaping, and I'm like, no, I have to go back, I have to go do it. So I ended up doing another recording session of it after I was already outside the house. Why am I like this? But I made sure to put in lots of plants, lots of foliage. Make it look like it's been here for a while. Make it look like a lot of people would want to visit, because it's bright and it's colorful and it's beautiful. I ended up putting out some benches outside. Make it look like the sign's been there a long time, because the flowers are there, they're undisturbed. Put in some nice big trees. This way you can always feel at nature here at this community lot. And then I ended up putting in a little bit of like waterfall things in the front. I thought about doing the Into the Future library sign, but I figured that's probably way too much. See, this is what I'm saying. I end up putting in beautiful little fountains out front. So this is going to be more like, this would be for like a nicer neighborhood. A nicer world to live in. But, I mean, everybody is welcome. Everybody is allowed to use everything. So, it's not like we're going to judge you for not having enough money, but, you know, it's mainly for people that live in ritzy neighborhoods. And I know this is like way off topic and I don't have very much time to explain this, but and here's some of the screenshots you can see. And I ended up taking this one before I did all the landscaping and everything. But I ended up going to a really nice neighborhood a couple weeks ago to go help out a different location. And so it was so nice there, and it was so weird. Because from where I'm from, it's not really that nice. But that doesn't really matter. Anyway, so leave your comments, your feedbacks, and your suggestions down below in the comments section. All my social media is in the description box. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, so I know what you guys like watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch more videos like this, if you want to be notified when I upload new videos like this. just make sure that you do hit, and make sure you hit that notification bell right next to it. You can hit the subscribe button below, or you can hit the circle button at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day. Bye.